Larry's philosophy, I think the main thing, the number one thing he advocated was obviously watching the ball, but he was a big advocate of topspin. You know, if you think of how a Rafael Nadal plays, that's exactly what Larry was trying to get across to his players, and he did so quite adequately, because if you watched his players come and play, if it's one thing you knew, they were going to be consistent because they were hitting the ball with a lot of topspin. You know, the ball would drop down in the court. When you hit it flatter, it's a smaller margin for error. Obviously, you had to have the ability to hit the ball flat at times, but more often than not, it was that Rafa Nadal style of play. And also, like I said, not only that, but mentally, you know, just staying calm. That was his number one also mantra, you know, staying calm, be it under pressure, you know, whether you're winning or if you're in the hole, you know, you still always stay calm and believe in yourself. And I mean, quite a few times, man, like I was known as the guy that came back from almost impossible situations. You know what I mean? It may sound like a movie or I'm telling a story, but you know, it's happened so many times. I was a kid that used to come back. I remember I played this kid from Venezuela, Jaime, I can't remember his last name. We were in Curacao, and very good player, lefty, giving me trouble with his lefty serve, lefty spin. I was down 6-love, 5-love, 40-love. And all the time still believed, you know what, I just need to string it together. Just need to string it together, you know, and just so happened that managed to string it together and actually came back from such a perilous situation. You know, it turned up 7-5, 6-3 to me. He was so devastated that I came back. He didn't recover in the third set, you know, and that also taught us. And all these guys as well that I'm talking about, the Kareem, McCartan, all these guys were there. You know, they'd see these things, and I'd also watch them and how they played, and they'd inspire us. You know, inspire each other. Fernando Peters, I mean, probably the best junior player that's ever come out of Antigua, in my opinion, that I can say that I've seen. You know, he was a guy who played a pivotal role as well. If you're thinking about, just to go back to your question of why, he was a guy that we could look to.
He was older?
He was older than us, yeah, a few years older than us.
Not familiar with that name.
Fernando Peters, he's the older brother of Orlando Peters.
That's where my mind went to initially, but I'm like, it's not Fernando.
Yeah, from Bowlands,
yeah.
You know, he's probably, yeah, he was the guy that we looked to. And he was also the guy that helped us become better, because he was so far ahead of us. We could always aim at him. But then I think what really hurt him in the end, that there was no one really to push him.
To hit.
Yeah, he helped all of us come to his level, but who was going to make him get to that next level? You know, and I think that really hurt him. But in terms of junior tennis, that guy was absolutely inspirational. I mean, what he would do, you know, we'd see it, you know, and he would really inspire us, and we'd come back and work. And also to think about his discipline. You know, I'm talking about a guy that's 15, 16 years old, maybe 17 years old, and the discipline that this guy would have was unbelievable. We took a lot of that as well from him. So yeah, all these little things mixed up, I think, really turned that generation into probably one of the best junior tennis groups that Antigua can say they've produced.
So with all this talent, why do you think none of it didn't translate into, in fact, I don't even, like, how many of you guys played either collegiate,
right,
or went on pro?
Right, most of them played, well, me personally, I deviated to cricket roughly around the age of 16, right? I remember the ITF coach coming here, and the opportunity was offered to go to tennis academy in Miami, to go and, you know, basically board, live, school and play tennis. And it was between that and going to play cricket, and I'd just come back from a under 15, so I was still 15 probably. Yeah, I'd just come back from an under 15 cricket tour at the time. Like I was saying, cricket was like my second sport. It was a sport that I could play, you know, and I loved it, obviously, don't get it twisted, but I took tennis just a little more seriously.
Under 15, what tour was this?
This was West Indies under 15 cricket tournament.
So you had made...
I was the captain of Leeward Islands under 15.
Yeah, and captain.
Yes. yes. Along with Austin Richards, you know, players like that. We were on at that time, and we actually got beat quite a bit. And I'd come back from the tour, and the guy came to see me, asked me if I was going to take up that opportunity, and I had a discussion with the family and stuff. And really and truly, I mean, it's obviously a deeper story than that, you know. But yeah, I just decided to go to play cricket.
But you know, I have to ask, because it's obviously a pivotal.
It's a pivotal moment
in your life.
Right.
So why cricket?
Okay, well.
Besides the obvious.
Right. I was, like I was saying, I was playing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably played cricket. My first organised cricket was in Wales, under nines. I remember playing for Glamorgan under nines. Dad was playing for Glamorgan at the time in county cricket. That's the last county cricket club that he played for, and that was in Wales. And I remember playing under nines. That was my first organised cricket, was under nines in Glamorgan. But to go back to your question, what happened? Well, really, like I was saying, you were transitioning now, and from 14s in tennis, from the age of 14, there aren't many tournaments at the age of 16. There isn't really an under 16 age group. It goes straight from 14s to 18s, right? So, like we were telling you before, we were very good at that age. We won quite a few tournaments. Not just myself. Kevin Gardner was pretty dominant as well. He actually attained the ranking of #1, you know, at the time, from Antigua. And we played doubles together. We were the #1 doubles team. And like you were saying, you know, at that age, guys really knew who we were. And then you leave that now. And I played 1 year of under 18s on the tour. Oh, was it 1 year? Yeah, I did. I played 1 year of under 18s. Or I started playing under 18s at 14, actually. You know, playing against older guys now. Guys 3 years older than you, which is a little different from the under 14s. And that first year was rough, Carl, you know. You know, I was competitive, but not as competitive as I would have liked. I lost a lot in the first round in tournaments. I had to compete in the consolation rounds in a lot of tournaments. It really knocked my confidence. But like I was saying, we still always had a determination. And I remember I came back later on, and now I played 2 years of under 18. So I came back at 15 as well, and played, and actually attained my first ITF ranking points at that age, you know, under 18s, which would have put me in the top 700-800 in the world or so. And yeah, I remember being more competitive, you know, getting to the quarterfinals in St. Lucia, the Coca-Cola International, which would have given me my first ranking points. And or was it around the 16? Yeah, something like, which was good for me at that age, at that time, you know, going up against guys 3 years older. But then it was really rough, and I started, my cricket and my batting started really coming on at that age. You know, at 15, I played for Antigua, you know.
The senior team?
Senior team. So it was always a bit of a toss-up, and cricket looked a little more promising at that time in terms of, you know, the guys, the amount of people that played tennis. That's how it was going, you know, these were the things that were going on in my mind. And yeah, just decided to give that a go. Thought I really had the talent, I could give it a shot.
So there was no pressure necessarily?
Hell no.
From that,
in fact, it was always really left to me. There's never been any pressure, especially from my father, in anything to do with what I play, where I play it. You know, I mean, it's just always been support. But I think, well, he always said this. He told me that, you know, he really thought I should have given tennis a shot. He said so at the time as well.
Oh, he told you at the time too?
Yeah.
You think you put, how do I put this? Did you put any pressure on yourself where cricket was concerned?
Oh yeah, I mean, not in terms of wanting to stack up, because I never saw it as a competition, but I always recognized that people would see
Right.
it as a comparison.
Right.
So personally, I always used to, but it's very, looking back, it's quite naive. I'm like, okay, judge me against the guys I'm playing against, or the people I'm playing with,
Right.
As opposed to arguably the greatest batsman, right? But I understood that, I always understood that from an early age. I always understood that, and there was never any pressure applied at all.